So this is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by four-time Great Britain champion Nina Hughes, about to turn pro. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. First time you've been on the channel, so let's start at the very beginning. Tell us how and why you first got into boxing.
So I started boxing through fitness. I did a boxercise class, then I joined a kickboxing gym, then I ended up joining a boxing gym purely for fitness. And then my coach then, Chris Oko, kept saying to me, "You're ready to box, you're ready to box." And I was thinking, no, I'm not. And then, I went out and sparred some girls that had a few bouts, and I did all right. And I thought, I'll give it a go once. And then had my first bout, won that, and then that was it. Was hooked after that.
How old were you when you first started sparring?
26. Started late.
Wow. Had you never had any interest in it before? Like, were you a boxing fan growing up?
No, not at all. Just fell into it completely by accident.
Oh, right, okay. You must have been a natural talent then. If Chris Oko's obviously a very good boxer in his own right in his day, and he must have seen something in you.
Yeah. So he kept saying to me, "You've got a box, you've got a box." And I was a bit unsure at first, but yeah, I'm glad I did it.
Do you know what your amateur record is?
I think I've had 74 fights, 159, something like that.
Why did you ever have an idea of turning pro? Because obviously when you started, it was just for fitness. You ended up kind of amateur boxing. Did you think that was the ceiling, or did you have pro in the back of your mind?
No, I never really wanted to turn pro. I mean, the program wasn't big for women. I mean, when I come off GB, I did look into it, and there was hardly any English boxers, pro boxers. You had to basically go to Germany or America back then, and I just didn't have any interest in it then. But seeing how it's taken off now, and seeing how all the girls doing well, I was just looking, thinking, "Oh, should I?" And I just thought, I've got to give it a go, otherwise I regret it.
When did you last fight?
Just before lockdown.
So it's been a long time then.
It's been a while, yeah. So I think it was like March last year.
But you've been keeping in the gym, presumably.
Yeah.
With Kevin Lilly. You got your pro license in May.
Yeah.
A lot of women getting their pro licenses during the pandemic, more than ever before. Is that just how well women's boxing's doing in this country? Do you think that's why?
I think how well women's boxing is doing, and obviously because there was no amateur going on because of the lockdown, I think it made a lot of people decide to turn over. Pro gyms were open, amateur gyms were shut. I think that definitely probably persuaded a lot of people to turn over.
What was the key thing for you that finally made you make that decision?
I was just watching lots of people doing well, thinking I could still beat you. So I was just thinking, I'll regret it if I don't give it a go. Like, I've sparred a lot of people, and I believed in my ability, and I thought, I've got to give it a go.
Tell us some of the good people you fought as an amateur, and you've sparred as well. Who's kind of given you a good challenge or a good test in the gym?
Who have I fought? I've sparred I fought Ellie Scottney. I've sparred Ellie Scottney and Shannon Courtney. Who else have I sparred? I've boxed a good Russian who I think's got the WBC belt, and I beat her. Ramler. I sparred quite a lot of the girls around. So
presumably, seeing how well they've then gone on to do as pros, I mean, it's early days, obviously, for the likes of Ellie and Ramler. Shannon Courtney's obviously got a title at the moment as well. Did that inspire you to think, well, if they can do it?
Yeah, definitely. I see how well everyone's doing, and it's a good thing that women's boxing's taken off. And I thought, I've got to give it a go as well.
What sort of weight do you think you'll be competing at as a pro?
I want to do bantamweight.
And that seems to be where it's all happening at the moment.
Yeah, it's the popular weight now as well, so hopefully there'll be more opportunities.
And you're with MTK, is that right?
Yeah.
So have they given you an indication of when your pro debut will be?
Hoping for September, but nothing's confirmed yet, still waiting.
And what made you, I mean, it's an obvious answer, but I have to ask the question, what made you go with MTK?
Just seeing how well they're doing for their box as well. It's a good platform. So, yeah.
And did they approach you? Like, how aware were they of you and what you've achieved in the amateurs?
Yeah, I've had Lee Eaton used to try and get me to turn pro years ago, but I wasn't that interested then. And then my coach, all his boxes are with MTK, so it was quite a natural progression.
How quick, given your amateur pedigree, because you've had a lot more amateur experience than a lot of the girls who've turned over, how quick do you think you can move as a pro?
I'm hoping as quick as possible. I don't want to. I'm going to go straight into a 6-rounder and hopefully push on really quickly.
I suppose if you've always mixed in top class as an amateur, you don't want to start your pro career against people who aren't coming to win, do you?
Exactly. So hopefully have the first one out the way, get used to the no head guard and smaller gloves, and then hopefully just step up from there.
And are you kind of targeting some of the girls you fought before or other British women as well, just because they're the bigger fights, the ones that will get more attention, more money, obviously, as well?
I just want the title, so whoever is good to progress to getting the world titles, I'll fight anyone along that way.
We said earlier there's a lot of women turning over in the last year. What do you think makes you stand out? What are your unique qualities?
I just think my experience. I don't know really. I'm willing to fight anyone. So yeah, I just think my boxing ability and my experience should get me far.
And tell us a little bit about your life outside the ring. Do you work or are you a full-time pro?
So I work part-time. I work 3 days as a secretary. And I've got 2 children as well. So I have to balance mum life with my boxing and my job.
How old are your kids?
6 and 4.
And do they know what you do? Like, obviously you haven't done it for a year, but
come to the gym with me all the time.
what do they think of it?
Well, my older one did try it out a bit, but then he sort of lost interest. So my older one understands it a bit more. He's always trying to put on his gloves and punch at me.
Well, that's good. Maybe getting punching other people, but yeah, it's good that he's interested. How difficult do you find that though, balancing a job, motherhood, and training as well, presumably at least twice a day?
It is challenging, but I like a challenge. So I just feel like I'm busy all the time. I don't feel like I've got much time.
That's good stuff. All right, well, really appreciate your time. As soon as you've got a debut date, you'll have to let us know and we'll have another catch up.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
All right, very best of luck. Take care.